Hello and welcome to Uniko's 12 Days of Christmas Inspiration and Giveaways, Day 12. So we made it to the final day, and today I've decided to show you a couple of other products. One is a Christmas orientated one, and one is a everyday general product, but they kind of go together hand in hand. You might recognise the products. Today it's the background blocks at Decoratifs. It's Art Deco inspired background block. Super fun. I think it came out around, I think it was Uniko's 8th birthday, so about 5 years ago nearly. And then this one wasn't quite that long ago, maybe 2 years, 3 years ago it came out, and I decided to do a Christmas version of the block. And because they're designed in exactly the same style, they can be used separately or they can be combined quite easily, and there's quite a few samples online using these two products. So I thought I would use them today in my cards. I had a couple of ideas in mind. Now this is the card that I shared over on the blog today. I created almost a sort of stained glass window effect. I didn't quite have time for the idea that I originally had in mind, but I hope to do it one day soon, maybe leading up to Christmas if I find some extra time. So what I did is I used a tag shaped die that I've had for a number of years now, that looks like an arched window. I've got a feeling this was actually originally a clearly besotted tag die. So I die cut the window, and then I actually had both my layers placed inside my stamping platform so I could position the block so that it would fit and be totally hidden behind this window. Then I used a multicolour alcohol pens just to colour it. I did heat emboss it, so you will see a bit of sort of shine to the stamped image. I embossed that with clear embossing powder. I added a sentiment from Christmas Sentiments, and the tree is cut out from the middle of the Christmas version of the block. So that was my card that's on the blog today, so you can see it over there. Now I went ahead and I've done a couple of steps just to save a little bit of time, otherwise it'd be a super long video. So I went ahead and I've actually die cut my window. I'm going to make a traditional shaker card today. Sorry for the glare, it's quite grim here today and I'm running late mainly because I went to the boys' Christmas performance at school today. So I've gone ahead, I die cut the same window, added my acetate and also my foam adhesive, ready to create the shaker card. I also went ahead and stamped the block, and it's been sat drying for a while, so hopefully, and I used my heat tool, so hopefully the ink is set and dry to use with my pens. This card is a little bit shinier, and sometimes the ink sits along. So what I thought I would do is I would add a little bit of colour to this background. I don't want to add too much, because I'm going to add some sparkly sequins, obviously, with it being a shaker card. So I'm just using these Stampin' Up blends markers. They're a bit like Copic markers, but a cheaper version, kind of, I suppose. It's about, I think they're about £8 in England, in the English magazine, in the catalogue. And you get 2 shades of the same colour, so you get a light shade and a dark shade. I haven't bought any Copic markers for a while, but I think last time they were around £5.95, so just under £6 for one pen. So these Stampin' Up ones are slightly cheaper because you're getting 2 for not much more. I tend to use these ones for simple flat colouring, and they match some of my cardstocks that I've had for a very long time as well from them. I've yet to find anyone who's matched Copic marker colours to Concord 9th inks, so if anyone has come across them online and that someone's done this, I'd love it if you could share the link. As I don't have a huge range of Copic markers myself, it's not something I'm actually able to do. So this is how I do my simple flat colouring, and to try and get a nice smooth finish with minimal sort of lines. I'm just going across and I'm just making this centre tree a little bit darker by going over it a second time. So just keeping the colouring nice and simple today. You could have, I could have ink blended the background and then stamped the block. I could use watercolours, pencils, there's all sorts of other quick options. But I thought, oh, I'll do a little bit of quick colouring, my style. As I say, I am no expert. I keep it super simple. And really, you don't have to colour around all the edges because you're not going to see the whole of this image through the window. Some of it is hidden. So what I could do, I did die cut a spare piece earlier. If you see it, the cardstock was a quite just slightly different shade, so you could just do a little sort of pencil mark as to where the block is hidden behind, so I can roughly see. And then what I thought I would do, because I'm going to use some bright colours, sparkly sequins, I do the background in some shades of grey, just to be a little bit different and hopefully help the sequins show up a little bit. But I'm not going to do all of the blocks. I'm just going to choose a few to colour, to add the colour to. These pens get used quite a lot, especially the ones that I take to workshops with me as well. And not everyone goes for this nib, that the brush nib gets used quite a bit, so it's a little bit used. Hence why I'm not using the brush end, which is a little bit quicker. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of colour. I think sometimes people shy away from shades of grey, that it can look a bit drab on cards, but I think sometimes grey is really good for bringing out the colour. We'll see. we'll see how it turns out. I'll do this one up here and then I'll go in with the lighter shade of grey. As I say, I didn't want this video to be too long today. I've tried to keep them where I can around, you know, sort of 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes. I know one a while back in this series was quite a bit longer. But again, it's practice it's practice with me learning to see how long certain techniques are going to take me. So I am learning. I'm hoping that Santa might bring me some tools or money to advance my videoing skills, in that I can talk to the camera first and then switch to my workspace. So I can talk to you all a little bit first before I get to the recording of the project, and hopefully that'll mean that I'll do some more lives. You never know. The thought of going live sometimes scares me. It's just confidence, isn't it, I suppose. I'm getting slightly more confident with these videos here on YouTube. As I say, I could sit and learn editing skills, but then I think the time that I spent sitting learning some editing skills, I could have done X number of videos. For me, it's what do I spend my time on? Making and sharing inspiration or learning a skill. Making always wins. So I'm going to leave it like that. As I say, I've already done the longest part of doing a shaker card, and that's putting the foam adhesive and such on. I think that can be a tiresome process, but the end result of a shaker card is beautiful. And I've probably shown it here on before with the full size acetate, but I wanted to go sort of for this sort of like a stained glass window effect. So I have a lovely box. I have a couple of boxes of sequins. A lot of these are from Little Things by Lucy before she sadly closed. So some of these I can't get anymore, which is a shame, because they're really beautiful. I do love sequins. So there's some little stars here, and I've put some sort of like peacocky sort of colouring of sequins that are a little bit larger. I'm trying to select a few that are smaller, and they seem to go towards the bottom of the tub. So I'm not going to put too many in. If I put too many in, then they're less likely to move around and they seem to get clumped. So what I do is I tend to pile them in the middle, making sure that they are inside my little window, and then I'm going to peel off. So today is the last video of this series of the giveaway parts. I will be announcing the winners tomorrow on the blog. I've just noticed a tiny gap So I'll announce the winners on the blog, and if I have time, I will come in and announce them in a video if I get round to making another card as well. So be sure to get your comments in by tomorrow. So I'd say 9 a.m, 10 a.m. GMT at the latest, because I will be working my way through comments. I'll try and reply to as many as I can, as I'm totting up who's commented on what and where, because there's a few places for me to check each day as well. Instagram, Facebook, the blog, and obviously in YouTube as well. So it's going to take me a little while, so it might be late afternoon, evening by the time the winners post is put up. But I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's taken the time to watch the videos, to answer my questions, and give me ideas as well to try, and tips and what you do and colour combos that you use. I do love that side of sharing information between us as crafters, because that is why I love this job, because I love making cards, stamping and paper crafts and stenciling. I love all the things. So I know ultimately I am showing you Uniko products and I'm promoting my brand, but I love everything. So thank you for taking part and joining in. As I say, it won't be long before my next videos. I hope to have one every day for the products coming in January. So if you're lost over the festive period, and you want to carry on crafting and join in, there'll be some more videos on my channel for the release. So finally picked off all the little bits on the back of the foam adhesive, and then I am literally going to just place it down over my sequins, press it down, and hopefully there isn't too much static, but it shakes nicely, and I think the colours show nicely above the Christmas tree, and the grey sort of helps it a little bit as well. So I'm going to add a sentiment, mainly because I forgot to add it before I put my foam adhesive on, and I have tried before now to stamp when I've got foam adhesive on a card, but I have to say it doesn't work that well. So I was just looking to see if I had my Simply Said blocks, but I don't seem to have them to hand. I'm not sure where I've put those, so we'll use the same Merry and Bright, and this is how I tend to do my sentiments. So I don't normally use a big piece of card like this, but it's what I've had to hand pre-cut in case I made any errors. I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and hopefully I get this fairly straight. Not bad, not bad. And then what I tend to do is, normally I use my pencil to draw a little mark. But where have I put my pencil? There it is, hiding under the markers. And I usually just do a little mark just to roughly gauge where I want the line to be, to make it equal. And just trim it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive. So this card will be a hand-delivered card. I do most years send cards to our neighbours, which obviously are hand-delivered. So I think I've got plenty of cards now and quite a few left over. Sometimes it depends on how many I've made as to how many hand-delivered ones I actually get to send out. And obviously I like to keep some for samples at shows as well. There is always a Christmas inspiration board at the show, or at the shows I go to. I'll be putting dates out shortly as to the ones I will be going to in the new year. The first is York, and that's in February. And then we have Gateshead. I think that one is March. I'm just picking out a couple of tinier sequins. And then I know somewhere I have my glue to hand. So I always like to just finish off a sentiment with a little bit of bling. I know there's plenty of bling on this card. Now somewhere I used to have a little picker up tool for sequins, but I never used to be able to get away with it as such. I still used to struggle with it. Practice, I guess. I need more practice. And there we have the other card. So just another way of using the blocks, and I really like this sort of stained glass effect. Did I mention the giveaway today? I can't remember if I did or not because my brain is all over the place. But the prize today is these two blocks. They are the prize today. They're super fun. Lots you can do with them, not just for Christmas but all year round, especially with the one without the Christmas tree, the Art Decoratifs one, the original. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video and this series. I'd love it if you could like and subscribe, maybe tell your friends about it. If you're on social media, just I'd love it if you could share the page with your crafty friends to reach more people. And I will see you again soon, and hopefully be back tomorrow to tell you who has won all the fabulous prizes over the past 12 days. Bye for now.